So obviously I make products for detailing cars, and my whole focus is on making better products that are easy to use, directions that are easy to follow, and therefore you get the results that you're actually looking for. And ideally you get better results than what you even imagine. And that's the vast majority of the feedback and the reviews that I'm getting for my products, outside of a few people that I'm not sure if they're just AI trolls or people who don't know how to read labels or whatever. But the vast majority of people absolutely love my products. They love them so much so that they've actually been trying to use them on different things to see what kind of results they get. And so in today's video or today's episode, I wanted to share some of these kind of like wild, smart, and honestly genius ways that people are using products like the Super Soaper, the Complete Cabin Cleaner, even Toughest Shell, all dressed up. They're kind of using them for all different types of uses outside of the detailing space. And while I don't, officially recommend these, because mainly the reason why is not because it's unsafe in any stretch of the imagination. It just can bring in confusion. And so I obviously keep it to car detailing, because it could just confuse people. And that's actually something that I've come up against with a little bit, because my products are so versatile, intentionally super versatile, and so they can be used across a lot of different mediums. I use them, and I'll share this, but I use the Complete Cabin Cleaner to clean the floors in my house and to clean the countertops, and sometimes to clean the windows and to wipe down the cabinets. And so that's something that I use off use. I actually use it. I use the Complete Cabin Cleaner to clean my turf that I have in my backyard because I have dogs. So I put it in a pump sprayer, and I spray it on the turf and then scrub the turf. And I've actually found that it works better than a lot of these quote unquote turf cleaners. And I like the scent of the Complete Cabin Cleaner a lot more than a lot of these quote unquote turf cleaners. And I actually found that it works better because I have odor eliminating ingredients in the Complete Cabin Cleaner. But anyway, back to the feedback that I've been getting from other people. So the first one I just actually got in last night or today, and it's from Sean. He's a tractor trailer driver, and the bugs on his windshield are brutal. So what he did, just to kind of mess around, is he threw a cap full of the Super Soaper into a trigger bottle, and then sprayed it on the windshield, and he said literally the bugs melted right off. And so he took it one step further, which I think I'm actually going to start doing as well. I used to do it with Optimum No Rinse, but it didn't work quite as good for me, so I think I'm going to do it. He added a capful, I think maybe a little bit more, to his windshield washer tank inside his car, which I think is a brilliant move that I think I'm going to replicate. I've honestly never thought of it. I think it's totally genius, and it just proves the versatility of the Super Soaper, especially when you can dilute it so many different ways. And so just adding a couple capfuls to his windshield washer fluid tank is going to really help him on his tractor trailer driving to keep that front windshield clean. And so I thought that was totally genius, and really I never thought about it. And that's, as kind of an aside, that's one reason why I really enjoy developing products on YouTube and kind of bringing you guys in to the behind the scenes of developing a product, kind of like I'm doing with the protector wax or rinse wax or whatever. I only have one video on that, but as when I developed the Super Soaper and the Complete Cabin Cleaner and the polish and all the products basically, except for the early products of Pure Magic Cleaner and Toughest Shell, I get incredible use cases of how you guys are using the product that I would never think of. That is sometimes genius. And that's really why I wanted to share this podcast episode too, or this video as well. So, the right chemistry diluted correctly can do serious work. And that's what, Sean proved that out with the Super Soaper. One I got in, I won't mention his name because I didn't ask his permission to. He didn't really want to blast it on social media, but I thought it was very, very cool. Was from a firearm instructor, and he's using Complete Cabin Cleaner and Toughest Shell. And his story is basically they shoot 500 plus rounds, and the optics on their firearm, they get caked in grime. They used to use Sonax, but now what he does is he sprays the Complete Cabin Cleaner It's totally safe. It's non-streaking. It doesn't damage the glue around the lens, which apparently is a big issue or a big thing to take into consideration. And then he seals it with Tough as Shell. So he's cleaning the optics with the complete cabin cleaner and then sealing it after he cleans it with Tough as Shell. And what happens, and forgive me, I'm not very well versed in this kind of thing, but apparently what it does is the dust and carbon that is built up from putting this many rounds through a firearm, it kind of builds up, and they've never seen anything clean it and then seal it as good as the complete cabin cleaner and Tough as Shell. And so when it builds up again, the dust and carbon, it literally just wipes off. So he's not getting any streaking. There's no ammonia in the complete cabin cleaner. It's safe on plastic, rubber, coated lenses, safe on piano black trim in a car. That's pretty much where that started. And so if it's safe on something as delicate as that, it's definitely safe on optics, and apparently better than anything that he's tried. So I thought that was a very interesting one too. That was very cool. One that also came in yesterday from actually my father-in-law. He was blown away, which is always it's always funny for me, and it's always exciting too when like those closest to me use my product, and then they're surprised at how well it works. And so I got a call from my father-in-law yesterday. He had his boat in the water for a few days. And when he pulled it out, there was some nasty yellow buildup kind of along the waterline. And so he took it to a car wash, or was taken to the spray and pay and spray. And it wasn't like taking his credit card or something, so whatever. So what he did, he just had some Pure Magic cleaner on him, and he sprayed it on this yellow kind of scum line, I guess you could call it. And when he got over to his shop to then pressure wash it, then it was completely gone. And he was like shocked, and he called me, and he was super excited. I mean, someone who my father-in-law has literally been around since I started Jimbo's Auto Detailing back in 2008, and it's so gratifying, I guess, for me when people that are closest to me that they get excited about my products, especially when they've seen the whole entire process. I think that's really, really fun for me to be a part of that. Yeah, I just think it's very cool. So again, Pure Magic Cleaner is acid-based, so you definitely need to be careful where you're spraying it. When he was telling me this story, I was like, oh my God. I was kind of like freaking out in my head a little bit of like, I'm just waiting for the big butt to drop. You know, I sprayed it all over my bow, and it did this or did that or ruined this, or, you know, I was kind of waiting for that big moment of like, oh crap, he messed it up, you know, because that's also happened too. But luckily, it took care of it. So you do want to be careful with where you're spraying Pure Magic Cleaner. It's amazing for no-touch rim cleaning, specifically water spot, mineral deposits, all that now, you know, nasty yellow buildup along your boat waterline. You know, he said it worked better than any of this hole cleaner crap that he had been getting from West Marine or whatever. Similar to my story with Complete Cabin Cleaner on turf. I mean, it just works a lot better than these dedicated turf cleaners, right? But again, it's called Pure Magic for a reason. And apparently boats qualify too. So that's very cool. Some other ways that I've just kind of heard through emails and feedback from you guys, the Complete Cabin Cleaner on gym equipment. So, you know, whether it's the flooring, which is mainly the big one, any metal, you can kind of use one cleaner to go through multiple different surfaces. And that's what a lot of people like about it, because it doesn't leave a sticky residue like a lot of all-purpose cleaners do. It's pH neutral, and so it's very, very safe on delicate surfaces. It doesn't streak. It doesn't leave any greasiness, which is very nice. And it does actually have some dust-repelling properties in there as well. So whether it's barbells or weights or, again, the flooring, countertops, bathrooms, you can kind of go through a ton of different surfaces with just one cleaner, especially if you buy the gallon concentrate. You could dilute it down differently, however you want. Tough as Shell on stainless steel appliances is, I've known that one for a long time. But yeah, Tough as Shell on stainless steel fridges, stovetops, oven fronts, whatever, works incredibly well. And in fact, some people love it so much they buy it just for that. It seems to kind of repel. Fingerprints a little bit, but that's that is a big one. Also, Pure Magic Cleaner on hard water spots on shower glass doors is a big one. And then using the Gloss Boss to apply it to glass to just make the water beat off like crazy, make it easier to clean, less soap scum buildup. That's a big hack right there, to Pure Magic Cleaner to Gloss Boss. You could also use the polish, the Picture Perfect polish, to polish out the glass as well. This one's a little wild to me, and you can, I don't know, Super Soaper to clean house windows. So because it doesn't leave a residue behind either, it foams really good, clings. So what a lot of people do is they'll either foam the glass up with like a pump sprayer, and then they rinse it with either a garden hose or a pressure washer if you're kind of cleaning your whole house. But it works incredibly well. Again, no residue, doesn't streak, it just cleans, gets all the crap. And what's nice about it is you can get all the buildup around the windows as well, kind of at the same time. Something that I do often here at my shop is I will use the Scrub Buddy pad paired with the complete cabin cleaner and clean my shoes. I like my shoes clean. And so for like rubber soles, vinyl uppers, even mesh, pairing those two is just super quick. I like to be presentable, especially for clients and stuff like that. And I think having clean shoes is part of that. So the complete cabin cleaner, sometimes just by itself with a microfiber towel if your shoes aren't too dirty. But if they are, you could pair it with the Scrub Buddy pad. And literally, I have my kids asking me to clean their shoes all the time, which is why I always keep a couple gallons of the complete cabin cleaner at my house, because I'm using it for the turf, I'm using it for the floors, I'm using it for the cabinets, I'm using toughest shell on the appliances. And then my kids are like, Dad, can you clean my shoes? Especially as we get into kind of the start of school coming up here. I guess we're right in the middle of summer, but as we come up and they got their new school shoes, they inevitably get them dirty the first couple days, and they're always asking me to clean them. So I think, when you make high quality stuff, people get creative with it. All right. So I didn't really plan for any of these use cases at all. Didn't even know most of them work for that, especially for me, like with the complete cabin cleaner on the turf. I had no idea that worked like that. We just happened to be at a turf cleaner, and I didn't really like the scent of the turf cleaner. But again, the optics cleaning, the yellow scum on the boat, the truck, the bug hack on the truck and putting it in your kind of reservoir for that. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I thought this would be a cool way to use my stuff. And so if you have other cool ways, I love hearing about it. I love seeing pictures and videos of you guys using it. So if you are using my stuff in kind of different ways, please shoot me an email or a DM. I'd love to feature more of these. I think it's just super, super fun. So whether it's a tractor, a boat, a motorcycle, a fridge, turf, bugs, I'd love to hear your story. I'm big on stories. I love hearing people's stories. And of course, if you want to check out any of these products, the Super Soaper, Complete Cabin Cleaner, Toughest Shell, Pure Magic Cleaner, the Picture Perfect Polish, the Gloss Boss, I will make sure to link everything below. And most of them are available on Amazon. The Picture Perfect Polish is up on Amazon. It should be up for Prime in a couple days. There was a slight delay kind of just with the influx of shopping with Prime Day, but that is going to be up on Amazon Prime here within the next few days. So at the end of the day, my goal is just to make products that work. So whether you're detailing your car or cleaning, I don't know, a red dot optic after a long range day, I'm glad, I'm honored to be part of that routine and those routines. And yeah, I really, really love it. I love hearing your guys' feedback, so please send more. And I'm overall just super glad that I have an outlet to talk about my products, make good products, and show how things can be done differently. That's a big thing for me. I know in the past with my torture test and all these brands that I've worked for, I've been real bullish on stuff and how companies act. And I really understand why they act like that a lot more now, having my own brand. But I'm also equally excited that I get to showcase how things can be done differently. So I think the Picture Perfect polish is the most recent example of that. But again, my whole product line is just one big extension of that idea, thought, and execution of that. So I appreciate you guys coming behind and supporting the brand. It means a ton. I mean, I wouldn't be able to launch new products. I wouldn't be able to bring new cool things to the market without your guys' support. And so I'm really grateful for that. There's been a handful of influencer product lines recently that I popped up. Some have already went away and kind of fizzled out, and I get that too. It's very, very difficult. It's very time consuming. It's very money. You need a lot of money to keep this going, and so I don't have any backers. I own this 100% myself. I don't have any financial backers or people. This isn't a licensing deal. This is just literally me and a very, very small team kind of hammering it out over here and trying to make something really big. And so I appreciate all the support and helping me fulfill that. And in turn, I deliver great products that work on cars and other things. So with that, I will link everything below. Thanks, guys, for the support, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.